Pod Stream is brought to you by Mr. Dirk. From casual wear to suits and formals, Mr. Dirk helps you find the perfect fit with the right look for any occasion. Step up your wardrobe at MrDirk.com. Doesn't feel like it was so long ago that the Oilers would beat the Anaheim Ducks for fun, but not this season. The plucky Ducks giving the Oilers all they can handle. Yes, they were shorthanded. Yes, missing some key guys. They got goalered tonight. A pile of shots on net, but Dostal Dominant in the Ducks' net. And the Oilers sputter to a close of their road trip with back-to-back losses. Welcome to Got Your Back, folks. Post-game edition. I am Ryan Shaugger. Jason Strudwick set to join us, as is Chris Sabunia, and Rob Brown will hop in here in just a little bit. Looking forward to a rock-solid post-game show tonight. Thanks for joining us wherever you are. As always, our show is brought to you by Play Alberta, where it is always game time. Bet on sports, find your new favorite slot, hit the tables, play on a virtual table with a live dealer, grab your lottery tickets, and do it all safely with responsible gambling tools to help keep you safe. Deposit today and get a $50 free bet with the code GYB04. That is GYB04. Visit playalberta.ca. Colin Clark is in on the chat early and says, if Struds defends Bouchard tonight, I'm going to the Adrenaline Diesel studio to raise hell. Yes, Colin, you know where to go. We are in our Adrenaline Diesel studio for this game. You know, they got an all-new 24/7 mobile service truck, ready for roadside emergencies, scheduled repairs, and expert diagnostics anytime, anywhere. For service truck emergencies, call 780-907-1965, extension 119. So we know who Colin Clark would like us to pile upon tonight, Struds. Don't know if we'll get there or not. Probably at some point. How are we doing tonight, boys? Struddy, how you doing, man?
Good. Yep. Good. There was, pretty good game by the Oilers. A couple areas I think they could have, maybe two areas in specifically for me, that they could have got more done and got
forward to that.
Most likely.
Yeah. So Colin Clark's frustrated at Bouchard. I don't know where he'll be on your list. There was definitely a little Bouchard chatter in the Got Your Back chat tonight, so we'll go over that. And a debut tonight for Olivier Rodrigue. So Zuby, looking forward to your impressions of him as well. Rob Brown's coming up in a little bit. We'll have brownie points. We'll have Struddy's World. We'll take a lap around the league, see what else was going on out there. So we got lots of great content for you tonight on the show. Looking forward to it. Before we get started, though, we do need to mention this. And this is, man, it's been like a tough week and a half here, Struddy, in the sports world. Yeah, man, another gone way, way too soon. Tough announcement made earlier today that Greg Millen, at 67 years old, passed away. Obviously, longtime NHL goaltender and an exceptionally good broadcaster for a number of decades here. So this was, I think this was quite a shock. And we're certainly thinking about all of his colleagues over at SportsCenter, his entire family. Another tough loss, Struds, a pretty shocking one. And Greg Millen, pretty well respected both on and off the ice as a professional, real good, both on and off the ice.
Yeah, he sure was. I got to interact with him a little bit when I was a player. And I always had a lot of time for him. Even when I listened to him, give his thoughts on games as a color man, very measured, right? Very calm. As the goalies give a little bit different viewpoints for sure than everybody else. But I liked his, and that's not a bad thing. That's just the way they see the game. And I liked his insight. And, I was reading a bit about him. I believe he'd been coach or teaching at a college. Pretty deep guy, interesting guy. So I feel just terrible for his family. And like you said, the people over at Sportsnet, that's just an absolutely brutal news to get.
Yeah. I was texting back and forth with a few colleagues tonight. They're really feeling it over there. So we're certainly thinking of all of them. That's tough. I had the opportunity to get to know him a little bit. Was on the road with him a few different times. Had a few different dinners, some walks. So I had the pleasure of, multiple really good conversations with him. Really gracious man. Always treated me really well. And it's a big loss. Zuby, as a card-carrying member of the goaltending fraternity, what stands out to you with the name Greg Millen?
Yeah, I liked him as a broadcaster, but I remember him as a goalie growing up. And like I was saying to you guys before we started, there's a smaller cluster of the goalie union, which is the 5'9" and under goalie, and we're sort of we're long out of fashion now.
Right.
So that was something that I remember about him. And I also, he at certain points wore the big wraparound pads, like these crazy, he was I think he was a gear guy too, because he seemed to be experimenting at times with some of the non-traditional brands, and he had those huge wraparound pads that, like, I think Reggie Lemelin wore them too, maybe Archer Zerbe, a few other guys. So I think maybe us smaller guys, we got to try some other stuff to stay relevant in the game. But yeah, it's a huge loss, really unfortunate.
Yeah, and I think Sportsnet put it very well in their release on X, saying Millen was a trusted and familiar voice in the homes of millions of Canadians for more than 30 years. So once again, our condolences to Millen's family. I think there were 4 children there, and his entire family over at Sportsnet, and to all his friends as well. So we're thinking of him with a heavy heart tonight. And with that, let's get to breaking down the game, guys. We do have a game to break down, and Millen would have loved that performance by Lucas Dostal. What a goaltending performance tonight. So we're going to be talking a lot about the goaltenders, debut in the NHL for Olivier Rodrigue. We got that to talk about as well in our breakdown. Brought to you by the Alberta Ram dealers. It's the Ram Motor Trend Celebration event. So here's the deal. You can lease a 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab for only $139 weekly. That's at 2.49%, and that is for 42 months. So if you want to take one for a test drive, you can see them here. Beautiful trucks inside and out. But go see your Alberta Ram dealer today to take one for a test drive. Okay, Struds, where would you like to start in this game? Like, I feel like I just want to ask you, well, you know what? Let's get to your 2 points. You said there were 2 things that stood out to you about the Oilers tonight. So you take the lead here, buddy.
Yeah, I think the first one is pretty obvious. The lack of scoring on the power play, this one hurt them. Now, there's a few different things, because there's penalties, and then, like the 4-minute, they had 4-minute, but then they got a penalty within it. But when they had a power play, it really wasn't all that dangerous. They go 0 for 6. Again, I don't think it's all 0 for 6 the whole time. It wasn't full 12 minutes, but you get the point. And so what are you going to do? Are you going to yell down the hallway and say, hey, you got to be better, but you're missing, 2 massive people on your power play for the last, 20 years. That's pretty hard to get upset about. But, they had the opportunity to get goals on the power play, and they weren't unable to, because they hadn't going. The second thing, it's a smaller point, but I'd like to get Brownie's thoughts on this. I feel like right now the Oilers, when they drive the puck wide and they use some speed, instead of cutting to the net, they're taking the easy way and going behind the net.
Oh, dude.
Are you with me on this one? Or?
We don't need Brownie's opinion. This has been all year, buddy. All year.
I'm just going to compare. You look at Cutter Gauthier, I think it was his second goal. He gets around Bouchard, and and he was around Bouchard, so I guess it's maybe a little different than being a half step. But even half step, lean in, drive it to the net. But he got around Bouchard and just took it hard, far post. And I think that just creates so much chaos that makes a goalie read off of you. And you see goals like that scored off of rebounds often. So that to me, and Louis made the point. I thought they were better getting in front of the net off point shots, but the forwards just taking it to the net. I'd like to see more of that. So those are 2 things that, as I watched the game, I couldn't get out of my head about this game tonight.
I mean, they had their chances. They easily could have certainly tied this thing, if not won it. Struds, like multiple posts. And I thought the Oilers played hard tonight. I think they had some mistakes, and they don't have the firepower to outscore their mistakes right now. But they were competitive at the end. They almost came back and almost tied it. They were a post away. Bouchard, who I think did have a bit of a rough night, ends up, with a heck of a shot at the end, almost ended up tying it. So they were plucky in that I think they stuck with it, even with 5-6 minutes left, down a couple of goals. I thought they stayed focused and gave themselves a chance. So I think there's certainly some credit there without their big guns and some significant regulars and such. But bottom line, I think this Oiler lineup tonight should have been able to beat the Ducks, and especially because there's home ice advantage on the line in the playoffs. Last game of a road trip, right? You're trying. It's a heck of a road trip if you win this game tonight. So I think this Oiler team could have beaten this Ducks team tonight. They weren't so shorthanded that it wasn't there for them.
Yeah, and I think the game was there for them. I think that the Ducks were very opportunistic on the couple errors that were created or committed by the Edmonton Oilers. And when they got it, they didn't miss. Whereas you look at some of the ones the Oilers had chances on. I mean, the Ducks were fairly weak at the puck management, in my opinion. Just throwing pucks away. I don't want it on my stick, my own zone. I'm trying to move it away. And that's something they'll get with some experience. A really young decor. But I just think that, they took advantage of their chances where the Oilers were unable to do so. They're prime of chances.
Do you think it's fair to expect the Oilers to beat this team without 97 and 29? Or do you think, hey, anytime you don't have those guys plus at home or your starting goalie, give it your best shot, but it's the NHL. You're probably not going to win much.
I think that with Leon and Connor out, their natural goal scorers aren't there, right? Those two guys they score. And can they score one more tonight in the power play? I'll take a chance to say they would. But can they beat them without it? Yes. But, they don't have those top-end scorers. You take them off any team, right? Take top two scorers off any team and see how easy to create offense after that.
Canadian says Oilers without 97, 29, 14 is a worse lineup than Anaheim. So he disagreeing somewhat. Trisen says Oilers deserved to win it tonight. Definitely played hard enough. Okay, where do we want to go next, Struds? Let's go to the end here. Some comments online about Jeff Skinner scoring with the net empty to bring the Oilers to within one, and then being nowhere to be found with the 6-on-5. No Jeff Skinner on the ice, 6-on-5. And I went back and I took another look at it. So to me, the decision that he made, so he had Hyman, makes sense. Nuge, makes sense. Bouchard, makes sense. Wallman, sure. Then he had Arvidsson, and he also had Henrique. Now, Henrique was crushing it in the face-off circle, so they were going to want him out there to win the draw, but they had Arvidsson out there ahead of Skinner. What do you think of that decision?
I think that Arvidsson was also having looks today. Like he rang one off the post. I thought he was on the puck. He was getting there. So to me, it's a coin toss at that moment. Yes, Skinner did score in tonight, but I don't know that it was like he was wildly better than Arvidsson. So I think you leave it to a coin toss, and he went with Arvidsson. So I'm not going to beat him up over that.
You know what I didn't like? Because I'll give you that. Here's what I didn't like. The instruction to Adam Henrique should have been, if the puck gets cleared, get to the bench. And the puck went all the way down to the end of the ice.
No.
And Henrique stayed on the ice for the last 25, 30 seconds. As soon as that puck got cleared, he should have gone straight to the bench, and Jeff Skinner should have been over the boards. But if the head coach doesn't make that clear, that doesn't happen. That needed to be made clear, and that needed to happen. They didn't prioritize getting Skinner on the ice. They let Adam Henrique stay out there. And I think that's where the mistake is, Struds.
Right, but he also scored tonight. So if we're going off that, should he be on the ice if he scored, he should be on the ice as well. Right? So
but who would you who do you think? Who are you putting on the ice if you need a goal? Which of those two right now?
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, they both are on the same goals, aren't they? Aren't they around 11, 12 each?
We'll have to check it now, but
they're within spitting distance of each other. So I understand where you're coming from. So Henrique's all over it. He's on the puck. He's winning faceoffs, and a player's not going to willingly change unless he's told to change. But I would generally
Henrique
suggest
had 10 coming in. Henrique had 10 coming in. Skinner had 15.
so it's 11 to 15. So I guess 4 more goals, but it's not like it's 40 to 20, right? So
but Skinner had one too tonight. So then it's 11 to 16. So there's a 5-goal difference between the two players. But.
Okay, 5 goals. Skinner had one too.
Skinner got the 3-2 goal.
Oh, of course. All right. So they both.
That's
scored.
my point, buddy. He had just scored with the goalie out.
Yeah. No, I hear it.
He
so
had just got one.
They both tipped one in. Similar style goals, right? Going to that, tipping it in, and that's great. I don't know. I'm not going to beat the coach up over this. Like when I look over the whole game, I don't believe this was the final nail in the straw or in the coffin. I guess we could talk a little bit about Bouchard and Wallman out there. Both two guys that just bomb it away from the point. Do you need 2 guys do it? Do you just need one? Do you pull one off and put another forward out there rather than having two D men that do the same job?
No, I'm good with Bouchard and Wallman. You need 2 sure-handed guys manning the blue line if you don't have Leon or Connor out there to patrol up around there. So I'm fine with the decision to have 2 guys. And I understand. Arvidsson over Skinner, I'm kind of like, for the draw, after the timeout, when everybody's fresh, I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, Arvidsson's got the shot from over there. So, I can maybe get with that. But when they won the draw and the puck stayed in the offensive zone, as soon as it was cleared, when I saw Henrique stay, and if you watch, I think the bench was cracked. Like the bench door was cracked. Like someone was waiting to come out or someone was wanting to come out as the camera pans by it. I think that's where Henrique should have headed to the bench. But we'll agree to disagree on that one, and we'll see it. And maybe we'll see what Brownie has to say about that. Kevin Cassian says, where is Skinner going to play? He's a perimeter player. He doesn't stand in front of the net. Skinner is redundant if Arvidsson and Nuge are out there. Respectfully, Kevin, did you not see Skinner in front of the net deflect a puck in tonight? Did you not see him from behind the net take the puck hard to the front of the net and create a scoring chance late in the game? Like, there are times this year where Skinner has been perimeter. I don't think we've seen Skinner being overly perimeter recently here, Struds.
No, and his game is trending in the right direction. For sure it is. But if listen, I'm not going to argue that much. If Skinner was out there, I would have said, okay, I can see that as well. If Henry could change it after, I'm not going to, I just don't see a massive difference between one or the other. As far as
but do
production.
You see a trend? Do you see a trend? I mean, we talked about him getting how many minutes the other night when McDavid and Draisaitl were out of the lineup.
Yeah.
We looked at his minutes and went, 15 goals this year. Might have got more of an offensive look tonight. It wasn't out there much. And then we see that trend again tonight. This is the second show in a row I think we've had Brownie jumping in to break a tie.
Yeah.
Brownie, Struds and I are at odds about
Okay,
Skinner.
what am I cheering on?
But not at odds. Don't go get too. I'm not really fighting the fight too hard on this one. But go ahead.
Okay, what was the question?
Well, the idea being that they didn't prioritize getting Skinner on the ice in the last minute after the timeout. So Henrique was out there to win the draw, which was fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had Arvidsson out there ahead of Skinner, which, okay, he had a few looks tonight, sure. Then the puck cleared all the way down the ice with like 25, 30 seconds left, and Henrique stayed on the ice. So Jeff Skinner, who scored the goal to make it 3-2, was sitting on the bench with the Oilers with an extra attacker on needing a goal. And I feel like they should have prioritized getting him on the ice at some point there. Struds didn't feel quite as passionately, thought it wasn't that big a deal.
Who would you put him out ahead of?
So you could make an argument that for the draw, maybe you could have had him out there instead of Arvidsson. I won't fight too hard on that one. What I would say is if you're Henrique, you say to Henrique, as soon as the puck is cleared, get to the bench. You prioritize Skinner getting out there over Henrique in that last, however much time.
Well, I mean, Henrique had a goal in the game tonight as well. He had the Oilers' other goal.
Yeah.
To me, it goes back to Skinner I don't think Skinner plays game 83. They're not prioritizing getting Jeff Skinner on the ice because I don't think they prioritize Jeff Skinner. So to me, I'm not surprised by that.
I know why they did it. What do you think of it?
Well, I wouldn't have him out ahead of. I can see why they had Arvidsson out there ahead of Skinner. Arvidsson can score from distance. Skinner can't. So they have Perry in front of the net, and I believe Perry was still out there instead of Skinner.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't.
They
So
had
Hyman,
Hyman,
Nugent Hopkins, Arvidsson, Henrique.
Wallman,
Yeah.
Bouchard.
I mean, yeah, no, I mean Skinner to me, you could put Perry ahead of Skinner, so they didn't have Perry on the ice.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm if they had Skinner on the ice, fine, but I wouldn't prioritize him. I don't think he's important. He's not Connor. He's not Leon. He's not Hyman. So to me, Skinner would be interchangeable with one of those other players, and I could have gone either way with those players. I like Skinner,
All right,
but he'd be in my lineup. But I don't know if you notice, we're 77 games into it. Our love of Skinner isn't as prevalent on the Oilers bench. So I don't think we should be really surprised by the fact that Jeff Skinner was on the bench at an important time.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody's expressing surprise that it happened. Definitely would be on trend. But fair enough. You guys, once again, you 2-on-1 me on an issue.
It's a soft one,
okay.
though. I was a soft
It is a
one.
soft one, yeah.
But see, I would have gone. To me, I didn't care either way on that one. I don't think he's anything better than Arvidsson or Henrique. I think they're all about the same. That none of them will be on the ice when the players are healthy.
And respectfully to both of you, and then I want to make sure someone else talks after me so that it didn't look like I was trying to get the last word. Respectfully to both of you, I'm going Skinner all day long ahead of Henrique if offense is what is needed. Not even close to me, based on their performances the last 2 months. Anybody? Somebody say something. I don't want the last word. Don't do it. You can look at both of you, so you both clam up. All right. Okay, let's move on to something else. Radko Gudas and Corey Perry. I'm just going to lob this one up there for you, Struds. I was critical in the past of the way the Oilers handled some of this business, in particular when Stuart Skinner got steamrolled and Calvin Pickard and then that sort of thing. We were hard on the fellas. So Radko Gudas with a tough play, missed penalty on Darnell Nurse. Stoff, even in the intermission, said he felt like maybe they could have handled it a little bit differently. What do you think, Struds, about their reaction to this tonight?
I think the guys went at him and challenged him, but there was no way he's fighting. It was 2-1 at the time. He's not a no-one fighter, and he's doing his job. He's annoying. Like, that's what he does. Is he gave Perry that chicken wing. It should have been a penalty for sure. Wasn't called, but that's what he does. So he's not going to fight you. He's going to talk to you. He wants you to draw attention to him because that means you're not paying attention to other guys. So you could see Darnell was asking him to fight. Perry went after him. Like, it's not happening. So the way you get him back is running him. And I thought the guys tried to run him a bit, but he's a strong guy. Someone in the NHL told me he's one of, if not the strongest guys in the NHL, pound for pound.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Struds. You're not going to fight him. You're not going to take a penalty. And this game was in the balance. This game was an important game to the Oilers. So you don't do something stupid because the only thing you can do is take a dumb penalty against him because he's not fighting you. But the Oilers took plenty of runs at him. But, I mean, I'd love to have Gudas on our team. I mean, he's the guy that he will be a fan favorite. At whatever team he plays for, he's a fan favorite because of the way he plays. And he played a lot. I don't think that 4-minute penalty kill, I don't know if he came off the ice. It was unbelievable how long he was out there. But he did what he does best. He draws all the attention to him. He had everybody annoyed at him tonight.
Alex Kanye says Radko is a Bond villain. We'll get to the Weiss Johnson soundbox here. Beat the rush on getting new air conditioner for the summer. The team over at Weiss Johnson's ready. They're busy, though, with requests for air conditioning, so don't wait on it if you want to grab one. Specializing in servicing your existing mechanical systems or installing new ones, Weiss Johnson's here for all your home comfort needs. Visit Weiss-Johnson.com today. Jingle.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
Screwed up their name there, Zuby, so we're going to let this breathe for another 3-4 seconds. Unacceptable. It is Weiss-Johnson.com today. I apologize to everybody for not getting that right. Here's Darnell Nurse on a Radko Gudas and their team's response.
thought guys dug in and tried to get physical, and yeah, that's this game. You know, sometimes things happen out there. People can choose to answer or not, and I thought our response was pretty good.
There you go. And I'm going to agree with Darnell Nurse on this one. I think that it was very clear they challenged Gudas. He wasn't taking the fight. So say what you want about Radko Gudas. We'll drop a shoulder into a guy's head. A veteran player like Corey Perry, who's got a lot of respect around the league, didn't feel like he needed to answer for it at all. That's, I guess, the way Radko Gudas plays it. But I was okay with the Oilers. They played hard. They tried to get the body on him. Nurse challenged him clearly. I thought the Oilers answered the bell well when the rough stuff came. Everybody was in there. There weren't guys standing around. So to me, I felt like this was a team that was working to be together in this way tonight, Struds, when some of that stuff, and it wasn't anything major, but when it happened, they seemed together on it.
Yeah, they were into it, right? And I think that, you know, Radko Gudas doesn't care who he does it to. Like that's what makes Radko Gudas Radko. Like he doesn't care. He would have done it to Leon. He doesn't care. He's always been like that, and I think he's trying to rein himself back. When he was younger, he was an absolute animal out there. But that's a great thing about Radko. That's what makes him that unique style of player.
Well, and do you think, Shaugger, like the way you talked, you sounded like you think Radko should have fought because of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're gonna throw a shoulder into a guy's head and it's a you know, clearly not a great play, pretty cheap, and the other team wants to challenge you. Yeah, I think that, you know, if it's a cheap shot, I respect guys that are willing to stand up for that. We've watched Jacob Trouba do that for years now, right?
I
so
see. I don't
Gudas
think there's
is going to
anything.
be the guy that doesn't. He loses a bit of respect from me.
I don't
care about that.
I don't think he did anything that he needed to fight for. In all honesty, he's played the game hard. To me, it's like, all right.
What'd you think of the hit?
It was a penalty. 100%, it's a penalty, but it's not one that you have to fight.
Headshot? Would you say it was a headshot?
Here's one to you. Do you think Connor McDavid should have to fight against the Blues if he plays Tuesday night for what he did against that Johansson?
For what he did? No.
That knocked the guy out for a month.
Yeah, it's different.
Why is it different? He knocked the guy out for a month. Same thing. Went for the guy's head.
It's different for guys that play the game a certain way. Struds, go ahead.
Still the same outcome. I'll disagree with both of you. Radko was never going to fight that fight.
No,
he'll never fight.
No, I agree.
He wants you to come in there. So what's the
Yep.
difference? So he's not going to fight. And I said in our group chat that he's not fighting, but at least you got to go after him and try to embarrass him. And you run him back. You got to run him back.
Well, and the other, go ahead, Brownie.
No, I'm just saying that you say that one guy has to fight and another guy doesn't. So I don't understand that. What Connor did was worse. Knocked the guy out for a month. No, I don't think Connor should have to fight, but I don't think Gudas should have to fight.
All right, fair enough. Even Steven, equal rules for everybody, says Rob Brown. Now, Struds, the knuckle dragger, the more old school guy would say, okay, if Gudas takes a headshot on a guy like Perry, and you feel that he has to answer for that because the refs didn't punish them at all. So as Louis was talking about multiple times on the broadcast, hey, if the refs aren't going to take care of it, the players have to. Those would say if Gudas refuses, then you just have to take it to a different player and say, sorry, your fella there isn't willing to answer for it, so you're going to have to. And you go at their more skilled players, or you pick somebody else, or you find a way to send the message that if he's not going to answer for this, somebody is going to. What would you say to those who might suggest that's a way to handle it a little more old school, Struds?
Yeah, no, I think that's anytime that's a good response, because it's really hard to get after guys like Radko because they are strong and he does know what's going on. And he's not going to fight. So, you can't go ask Cutter Gauthier to fight, but you can definitely pound on him and make it hard on him and cross-check him and do things like that. Like be extra hard on him. Over
shouldn't
the
it
ice.
be like that anyways? I mean, you're supposed to play hard against the other team's skilled players anyways. So it's not like you're.
That's fair.
To me, it's a silly argument though. Like I'm going to go, I'm going to take a penalty on a skilled player? Well, then you just took a dumb penalty. You're going to go play hard and physical on a guy. Well, you should have done that in the first place.
Yeah, but you know how it cranks up. It cranks up after something like that happens, right? You kind of get a little more intense for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm not saying that the Oilers needed to do that tonight. I don't think they needed to go and completely waste one and take a penalty. And, I don't think that tonight was the night for that. I think the night their starting goalie got knocked out of the game and then the guy who came in got run. I think that was the night, absolutely, to do that. I don't think tonight was the night. So I'm more with you guys on that one a little bit. Okay, you know what? Let's get to our Relentless Player. And then we'll get to a break here. Relentless Player is brought to you by UCAN Youth Services and Edmonton Charity. Relentless in providing possibility for the youth in our community, providing mental health support as well. 2 in-house counselors providing free therapy sessions so that their youth have support while navigating their struggles and rediscovering their strength. Visit ucan.ca. Okay, Struds, who gets the nod?
Well, let's go Lucas Dostal, right? 45 saves. He was great tonight. He's, the best player on the ice. He had a really, really good game, made some good saves, and gave them a massive chance to win there. Outshot, what was it? Almost 2-1, I think.
Well, it was unbelievable. Even at the end of the game, Struds,
yeah.
What's his name? Troy Terry misses an empty net with 15 seconds left, and then throws the bat puck. Again, another horrible play defensively by Anaheim where he threw the puck back blindly gave a break to the Oilers. But with 13 seconds, the Oilers came down and got 3 or 4 more grade A scoring chances. It was unbelievable how good Lucas Dostal was in this hockey game. We've seen him do it now 2 or 3 times against the Oilers. Maybe there's a goaltender you want to go and take a look at some point because he plays good whenever the Oilers are on the ice. That was as good. That I said on the chat tonight, that was as good a game as we've seen an opposing goaltender play all season against the Oilers. He was excellent in this hockey game.
He was pretty awesome. Although I do have to say, Struds, I'm a little bit surprised. I thought there was another one you were going to go with. It's been pointed out here on the live stream as well. Another player who I thought tonight you might have leaned more towards. Any idea who?
Who, Henrique in the faceoff thought?
No, yeah. I'm shocked that you didn't know. That would have been a close third. So Sunch17 says, Relentless Player should be Podkolzin for growing another leg just in time for the third period. How about Vasily Podkolzin emerging triumphantly from the tunnel to play that third period after what we all assumed was going to be potentially a season ender that put the playoffs in jeopardy? It was ugly the way he went down on it. Those Russian, he's tough. We don't see him stay down, and he has to be helped off, Struddy.
Yeah, it's odd. I don't know. It took a little while for him to get back, and obviously it is. But when I felt things like that, I just sit on the bench and try to hopefully pray that just settles down.
So you're docking him points for going down the tunnel, even though he had teammates carrying him.
Well, the outcome. I don't know. Am I wrong? You know what I mean? But I think there was an intermission in between there too, wasn't there? There was an intermission there, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there was.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think you sit there and just try to see how it feels, right? But
it's the new kids, Struds. They like the tunnel. Even Corey Perry walked down the tunnel tonight. Everyone goes down the tunnel, and it's almost like there's a magic little elixir down there that you take a little sip of it, you get all better and come back.
Yeah. Look at you, hard asses. I think that's where the help is. I think if you need to go and figure out if your ankle is broken or not, you probably can't do that sitting on the bench.
No. If your ankle's broken, you're just about anywhere on the ice. Your ankle's broken. Yeah. So, but a lot of times, what happens on something like that, you get scared. You twist a weird way, you get scared, and you're going to take a breath somewhere. And now guys are going down the tunnel. They're going into the dressing room, and they walk it off. And hopefully, it was just fear. But anytime you turn something a different way, you're scared to death because you know what rehabilitation is, and you know how it's going to ruin the rest of your year. So he's one of those ones. I need a moment, and I'm going to take that moment off camera, and I'm going to walk around, and then you won't see me grimace, and then maybe it feels a bit better. Okay, it's starting to come back, and then you just take a big sigh, and then that's when you come back out to the bench. So when he went down like that, it looked ugly, and I'm sure he was scared to death that this might be the end of my year.
Struds, when was the last time you saw a guy get helped off the ice by 2 teammates and just sit on the bench?
Oh, I see that all. You ever watch soccer? You ever seen soccer? They have stretcher.
Exactly. Rule of thumb, Struddy, if your teammates have to help you off the ice, you get a free pass to go down the tunnel, no?
He came back. So I just want to see how it feels. Like, just give me a second to let it breathe and see how it feels, right? And then does it come? So whatever. I mean, I don't want to. He's a tough kid. But yeah,
Struddy, if Shaugger, if we're playing a pickup hockey game and Shaugger gets helped off the ice and then he comes back for the next period, are you making fun of Shaugger?
Well, no, I just have to be clear here on how I'm feeling.
Yeah,
I think there needs to be a time of self-evaluation on the bench to see how it feels. And I feel that too often the players go back to the dressing room and then they come back. So you could have just stayed there on the bench and kind of sorted it out.
All right. Old school Struddy. I love it. That was a relentless player brought to you by You Can Use Services. Okay, when we come back, we'll get to takeaways. Got to break down more of this game. Also, we got a dessert debate happening in the Got Your Back chat group. So we were going to make that our YouTube poll. We'll get to that in the next segment as well. So plenty still ahead here on Got Your Back, presented by Play Alberta.
Join over 250,000 Canadians who have upgraded to Canada's best mattress. Douglas is proudly made in Canada and ships directly to your door for free. Douglas is easy to set up. Enjoy perfectly balanced comfort and an easy-to-clean machine washable cover. Get a free sleep bundle with your Douglas mattress. Try risk-free for 365 nights. Get your Douglas mattress today.
At Gallery Dental, we believe in blending exceptional care with artistry to create the perfect smile for you. From routine cleanings to advanced cosmetic procedures, our team is dedicated to providing top-notch care in a relaxed and comfortable environment. With state-of-the-art technology and a passion for perfection, we ensure that every visit is a positive experience. Join the Gallery Dental family and let us help you achieve a smile that you'll love to show off. Contact us today at secolanddentistry.com.
Ready to go all in this season? Mr. Dirk's got you covered with express on-site tailoring, a wide selection of craftsman-made suits, sport coats, and casual staples for every occasion. Score big with Mr. Dirk. We've always got your back. Visit us off White Ave, south of 102nd Street, or browse online at mrdirk.com.
I didn't believe that they were actually injured. And then if they weren't, then we'd know.
All right, welcome back to the show. Time now for takeaways, shall we? Brought to you by Martin Motorsports. The YEG Motorcycle Show is coming next weekend at the Edmonton Expo Center. View the full line of Can-Am on and off-road products, including the Can-Am Pulse electric two-wheel motorcycle, which is new. While you're there, sign up for their demo days happening later this summer as well. Test out your next ride. Martin Motorsports. Visit them online or at their two Edmonton locations. Struddy, you wanting to clarify? You wanting to defend yourself? There's some comments.
Yeah.
People are coming at you on the YouTube stream.
Someone, I didn't catch the name, but someone said that I'm the type of youth coach that, keeps benches kids if they aren't hurt. And I don't do that at all. What I do is I believe that every player who stays on the ice is in fact injured. So when they come back to the bench, they're required to sit 3 shifts. And it's amazing how quickly the kids stop laying on the ice when they realize they're going to miss about 6-7 minutes of the game. So I believe you, Shaugger. You are injured. You're going to sit here for 3 shifts. What? Well, no, you're injured. You were just crying. You're going to sit here. Well, what are you talking about? Oh, I'm talking about you're sitting for 3 shifts. And then the next time, does he stay down? You're welcome. Problem solved. What's next?
I
100% agree with Jason. 100%. I do the same thing. If I have to come out on the ice to get you off the ice, you're not playing the rest of the period because you're hurt. So it is amazing how quickly those players stop laying down.
Yeah, I believe you're injured. I'm going to believe you're injured, and you made me scared. Now you're gonna sit to make sure you're healthy, and they don't do it again.
So when we cut the Twitter promo, we're going to say Struds has some advice for Chris Knobloch on how to handle Vasily Podkolzin when he goes down like that. And then we're going to splice in that answer. Like you were suggesting that's what Knobber needed to do tonight with Podkolzin.
No, this is 2 separate things. This is youth hockey and NHL.
I'm kidding.
To be clear, don't sewer me in the promo. Zoobs.
We won't sue you. No.
I would never.
We know where your heart is at on this one, Struds. You're
No,
a
but
hard ass,
Shaugger,
not a complete madman.
Shaugger, next practice, could you ask Knobloch if he told Podkolzin he had to stay in the dressing room till the next period because he was punishing him like Strud said he should?
Yeah, and no orange slices. So we did have an NHL debut tonight. Probably should have gotten to Olivier Rodrigue sooner than this because this was a big night for him and good for him. Congratulations to him. The broadcast had a great shot of his family, some people in tears. It's always kind of a fun moment. What did we make of it, Brownie?
I thought he played well. I don't think his teammates helped him on a few of the goals against.
Yeah.
I know that Chris Knobloch talked about it. The Oilers played well enough to win, but they made enough big mistakes to lose. I thought Olivier Rodrigue was good. I mean, I think the first shot he had on net was a 2-on-1 that they gave up. One little muffed shot where he thought he had one, but it was down by his pad. I think that was the only real mistake that you saw in his game. I mean, good on him. He got to play out a lifelong dream, played a game in the National Hockey League, and I thought he acquitted himself quite well, Struds.
Yeah, you nailed it. I mean, really, he looks solid. He looks square. The first goal, would you like to see that suck that rebound up? Yeah, as a team, I'd like to see that rebound get sucked up. But also, you got to help out your goalie, right? A rookie goalie, and maybe you want to clear that out in a different way rather than it just shooting it back to the blue line, which is also an option. But then after that, I thought he was square. I thought he was good. I mean, it's what are you going to say? I think it's good for him. I don't know where that goes from here for him as far as playing time, but he gave his team a chance to win in Anaheim tonight.
Yeah, I think that's really well put. Smaller goalie though, eh? But you can tell they were looking to go upstairs when they could, and when he's down in that hugging his post and he's down, there's a lot of open net over his shoulders and head and over on the other side. Hey.
Yeah. Well, did you see? I'm not sure which player it was. But early in the first period, one of the players tried shooting from below the goal line off his back. Like they could see some room up top. But no, he played well. I mean, his D-man, Bouchard, didn't help him with allowing that Cutter Gauthier walk past him twice in this hockey game. The one where he went and he scored. That was like, that didn't help. But I thought nice effort. Good for him. Now, but I mean, Struz and I talked about it too, Shaugger, that we think they should sit Pickard and Skinner the rest of the year, let him play the rest of the games, and then both goalies will be rested for playoffs.
Yeah.
Zuby, what say you, buddy?
Well, Noodles has talked on multiple occasions about how neither Skinner nor Pickard has a traditional butterfly, and theirs are both different, but they're not traditional butterflies. Rodrigue, to me, looks more like a traditional butterfly goalie, so that's a nice starting point, and I think he plays that well. Certainly, I thought the rebound that led to the goal and the other one where he couldn't find it, that looked like a little bit of nerves to me, but I like that he locked it down. He seemed to get better in the third, and he didn't have as many shots, but that's super important because the psychology is, if I let one more in, whatever, it's over. Like that's the highest pressure time for him, even though they're down. Mm-hmm. So I liked how he played in the third.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point. He made a couple of really nice saves for them and was a big reason why they had an opportunity to get back into that game. It's a great point, Zuby. He really tightened up when it really mattered. So good, solid performance from him. The head coach thought he was pretty good and said so post-game. Okay, let's shove this game aside a little bit here, guys. Let's talk bigger picture about the Oilers and where they're at right now. So Trent Frederick, 7 minutes and injured again. Chris Knobloch said today, the quote was along the lines of, he'll be ready for the playoffs, but an immediate return is not going to happen. So don't know how long this is going to be for him. That kicks that can down the road in terms of getting him comfortable in the lineup and finding a line that works. You got McDavid and Draisaitl have been out here for a while. Ekholm's been out. Skinner's been out. Struds, Evander Kane will be important if he can get back, but who knows what he's going to look like. It's not like things are falling perfectly into place as the Oilers are heading towards the playoffs here, man. There's a lot of crap happening with this lineup. And if they manage to fashion together somewhat of a full lineup, it's going to be pretty last minute. And I don't know what it's going to look like. You?
Health is the number one concern for this group. There's no doubt, more so than even winning second place in the division. They have to be healthy when they hit that game one. So I don't know when everyone's going to come back. But having some kind of flow or continuity heading into the playoffs feels like it'll be non-existent. Brownie.
Yeah, but you look at the team they're playing in the first round, the LA Kings. Doughty didn't play tonight. Edmonton didn't play tonight. Tanner Jeannot didn't play tonight. Kempe left the game during the game tonight. There's one other forward that was missing tonight in the game as well. So they had 5 guys as well out of their line. And you go around the National Hockey League, every team has it. Unfortunately for the Oilers, it's all their best players. But seriously, I've got no fear. I do believe they'll all be back come playoff time, and maybe it takes a period and a half for them to get the rest off. I think this Oiler team is good enough to win the first round against the LA Kings, and then they're going to get stronger because they're going to build towards something as they move forward. But I'm sure they'd love to, but they'd love to get them all healthy, but we'd love to have them all healthy, but we won't play them in the last game anyways because we want to rest them in that game because we don't want anyone to get hurt in that game. So it is what it is. It's this time of year, and just be glad that all these guys are out now and it's not 3 weeks from now.
Any more concern level, Brownie, that with Frederic, I mean, I don't know how many games he's going to miss here with this, but he won't have had a chance to kind of get his feet under him, to get his hands necessarily up to playoff caliber. And he's missed a lot of time here to find some comfort with some other players, find a spot in the lineup, and then with Evander Kane potentially coming back too. Now you got another guy that's trying to get his footing underneath him. Any concern with those two in particular, just given their circumstances?
I don't have concern about Frederic because he's not going to be on your first power play unit, so I don't really care about his hands too much. He's probably not going to be penalty killing, so it's not as though he's going to miss all the systems that the penalty killers have. He's going to be a guy that goes out, works hard, and hits people. I mean, that's not something that you have to teach. That's something that's in you. And we saw in the 7 minutes that he played, it's in him. That's all he wanted to do. I have concern about his ankle, though. The fact that he lasted 6 seconds and it already twisted. I liked after the game where it's nothing. We just rest him. It was fine. And then the next day, he's retweaked it. Now we're a little bit more worried. I'm worried about his ankle. I do believe that this ankle will bother him the entire playoffs. You just hope it doesn't bother him too much that it affects whether or not he's in the lineup or not. As for Kane, he was always going to be a wild card. But then again, he's been a wild card most of his time in Edmonton anyways. So that's really nothing new for him. I think if he comes back as a third, fourth line guy to start with, just his speed and his intimidation will be a positive impact for the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, and I think this puts Frederic on the third line. I have a hard time seeing him starting with Leon when the playoffs gets going, just because it's just not there. It's just hard. I think joining a new team and trying to find the rhythm, it's the challenge, and it can happen fast. And he is the type of player that I think everyone will welcome because he's just going to work hard, get pucks back, get in people's faces. The guys are going to love him on this team, for sure.
All right. How about Skinner? He's missed quite a bit of time here now, and getting him back and getting him feeling good about his game. Of all the guys that are hurt right now, where's your concern level with him, Brownie?
Well, I guess when he comes back, how he plays. I do not think it's out of the realm of possibility that Calvin Pickard could play game 1 of the playoffs. Just when will Skinner start? There's 5 games left. I don't know if he's starting Tuesday, so that means there's 4 games left. And what if he comes back and is just average in his first game back? It's So, there is a chance. Calvin Pickard has played well. He lost in LA, but he gave up 2. He won in Vegas. He gave up 2. He's playing very, very good. So Stuart Skinner will have to come back, be healthy, and play well. I don't think it's just completely his crease for game 1. I think he's going to have to earn it by the way he plays if he plays 1 or 2 games before the playoffs start.
You think they give him 4 of the 5 Struds if they can? If he's ready to go by the San Jose game, I guess
that would be 4 of 4 then.
Yeah,
3 out of 4.
They
might, because there's back-to-back.
They might, Shaugger. I'll say this: I talked to a guy who played a lot of hockey and is a goalie coach, and he said that this could be a perfect thing for Stuart Skinner, just a complete reset. right? Just a reset mentally, reset physically. He's going to get out there, and this could be the perfect thing because it breaks up what has been a bit of a struggle here up to this point.
Good point. We'll see. Team's going to take the day off tomorrow. Then they got a game against St. Louis on Wednesday. Should be a fresh batch of injury updates from Chris Knobloch at that point. That was Takeaways brought to you by Martin Motorsports. So, looking ahead to our DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center poll here. We have an event coming up on the weekend. Very much looking forward to it. Might be the one and only time that it happens. We're going to attempt getting the three hosts and couples together for a social gathering. Now, this is not a work function. Nobody has said, like Randine and I, the bosses of this whole thing, have not said, we have to do this. This has been a choice that has been made for us to get together socially. It's going to be hosted by the Strudwicks. We're going to dip our toe in and see how this goes. I'm not going to lie to you, though. There's some stress on this end because we're in charge of bringing desserts. And Randine said to me, like, any idea what the guys like for desserts? More than anything, Strud, she doesn't want to disappoint you with whatever dessert she brings.
I don't blame her.
Yeah. That's going to help. That's really going to help. Oh, no. You have no idea what you've just done. She'll be so paranoid now. So we got a little informal poll going on the Got Your Back chat about what everybody's favorite desserts were. And really, the truth is it was just to figure out what yours was, Struds. Because then Randine said she was going to bring it. So anyway, Zuby, hop in here with everybody's favorite dessert. Now, it's kind of up to you. I don't know, Brownie. Should we let them say whose dessert is whose? Otherwise, because
I think we wait till after. Wait till after everyone's going to vote for the one that Strud says. So,
he just wins.
Strud's going to have the great reveal. Yeah, Strud's going to have the great reveal when it's all over.
All right. Well, either way, this poll is brought to you by DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center. The snow is just about gone, right? And golf season, we're ready to rock and roll. So if you need to book a fitting for some new clubs, do that in advance over at DeBoer's. Always a good time of year to go get that done. Get fit to play your best by the team dedicated to helping you play better golf. Visit them at 5311 99th Street in Edmonton. So Zuby, what are the desserts?
All right, here we go. So the question, I've phrased it this way. Of these choices, which is the best dessert? I'm not gonna click it yet to go live here because maybe we'll do a little bit of explaining here. So the choices are apple pie with ice cream. Second choice is sex in a pan. Maybe someone whose dessert that isn't should explain it if people don't know what that is. I hadn't heard that term before. Nanaimo bars is the third choice, and the fourth and final choice is carrot cake. So.
Oh, boy. I mean, one of those clearly doesn't belong. One of those needs to just get the hell right off the list, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, you know what? Can we cancel one and go all of the above instead?
Yeah,
like, there's
those
one
are all
that absolutely god-awful.
Struds, I'm not sure if you and Sean, like when Randine and I host at our house, we generally have an itinerary for the night. So it's like a list, and when people arrive, we hand it to them at the door. It's everything that's going to happen at which specific time. Okay. I don't know if you and Shona do the same thing or not, but if you're looking to fill a 90-minute window, might I suggest Settlers of Catan?
Yeah. So if you arrive with a pie in hand, the Settlers of Catan in the other hand, I'll grab the pie, push you down the steps, and close the door. It'll be over. Landine can come in.
Just a total logo.
We'll definitely have a full night of events for sure. We'll have it every minute because in case we don't have things to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, if it gets too, you guys have too many quiet moments, you can always FaceTime me and I'll come in for a little 5 minutes. I'll do a tight five. I'll do my tight five, little stand up or something, and then break it up a little bit.
It would actually be pretty fitting, the three of us in normal size, and then Zuby on an iPad like down below, just like he is.
That would be fitting, yeah.
Just like he is on the show.
I'd be really recreating the.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I can't wait.
Yeah, for sure. And by the way, we're Ubering, so we're coming over with bad intentions. Wow. Like we're not mucking about. We are not driving. We will be Ubering that night.
going by. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. I think it'll be.
I'm on the ice at 6, 7 o'clock the next morning. This is gonna be awesome.
Brownie.
Awesome.
Who scheduled that?
Before. You're acting like
I did. I'm actually the scheduler too.
All right.
Struddy, are you making like a signature cocktail for this event? Is that what you were?
I'm not a real mixologist, but I will get a special drink that I love it. It makes me feel really classy when I drink it.
Okay.
That's the White Russian or the
well, white. No, they're
I like
China
White
Whites.
Russians.
Oh, China White, right. Sorry, I got you.
They're kind of like the cousin to the White Russian.
Yes.
Open to suggestions on the YouTube stream as to what we could potentially do, what events we could schedule. Right. I like a nice tight itinerary with my friendly gatherings. So if you want to pass that on to Shona.
You're going to get
I
tight
just think
pants
it's a nice touch.
from Struds. Struds will have his tight pants. Is that tight enough for you?
Yeah. Do you really have an itinerary? Can't we just hang out and see how the night goes?
Really? You're just going to leave it to chance like that? See, I think if you stuff the night filled with different events, then you're just moving. You'd be, okay, what's next? Where are we going? Like if we hosted, it'd be like, okay, we'd have like a Catan station, then we'd have a golf simulator station, then we got the hot tub station, we got the dessert station. Like everybody's moving, right? That's a Shaugger party.
Right. Yeah.
I thought we would just sit around and talk politics all night.
No, it's just sit around and hang out, throw a game on, relax, talk, get to know each other.
Throw a hockey game on. Yeah, that'd be awesome. That guy. I can wake my wife up right now and tell her.
Lauren the Alchemist says Twister and record it. Little Twister.
Oh, jeez.
Just I can't have my hands and feet down at the same time. It's got my back won't do. So if I play Twister, it's like I just stand. It's just my feet is all I can engage. Okay, that was our YouTube golf. DeBoer's YouTube golf shop and fitting center, something like that. That was our poll.
By the way, Blommer, who has, as a penance, renamed himself to Just Matt, which is pretty funny. He's very excited that Nanaimo bars, because he I think has in previous episodes tried to get in as a counter to brownie points. He's tried to give out Nanaimo bars. That's his thing from. Right. So he's happy that. So I think I know who he voted for, but he's thrilled that that's included.
Pizza Boy says Struddy's itinerary is 4 hours of knitting and then everyone goes home. That's what Pizza Boy.
Night. I think this is Matt's last night on the suspension too.
On the naughty list.
Is it?
Yeah, make a note.
Just Matt?
Make a note.
All right.
Matthew.
Okay, let's get to break. She's come off the rails and we got lots of show left. Go to break, Zuby. We'll be right back with Brownie Points in Struddy's World. Stay with us.
Specializing in heavy-duty commercial truck powertrain repair, performance, tuning, and part sales, Adrenaline Diesel's professional team is ready to assist you with all of your needs, from the simplest oil changes to engine conversions, overhauls, and engine modifications. Featuring an all-new online parts store and machine shop to manufacture, replicate, or repair parts, visit adrenalinediesel.ca.
With over 18 years in the industry, Kelly Zaretsky and her team at Blue Summit Accounting deliver client-focused solutions and financial guidance for success in a simple and comfortable way. Whether it's for corporate or personal needs, Blue Summit Accounting can help with taxes, estate planning, financial services, bookkeeping, and more. Get in touch today. Email bluesummitacct@gmail.com or call 780-416-9662.
Man, Colin Clark is all over us in the stream. Same thing last podcast. Colin says, "Okay, boys, back to analysis. After 16 minutes of TV show movie talk last pod, we need some meat and potatoes." Colin is all business, post-game. All business. We'll get to a little bit here. I can't make any promises with brownie points, though. Time for brownie points, brought to you by Hamel's Premium Jerky. If you're craving bold flavors and unbeatable quality jerky made with prime Alberta beef, made and sold right here in Canada, look no further. And their April special is here, $97 for 3 pounds of jerky, and as always, free shipping Alberta-wide. By the way, everybody who purchases the April special, they're going to throw your name into a draw. And there's a little Got Your Back merch on the line. So maybe a little hoodie action. Got Your Back hoodie, Got Your Back hats and such. So go to albertajerky.com to order and to enter as well. Brownie, only serious business for Colin in brownie points. Get serious. Let's go.
All right, we'll be serious to start with. I'll give 115 brownie points to Nikita Kucherov, who with 3 points today against the New York Rangers has now moved into a tie with Nathan MacKinnon for the scoring lead. Not as much talk about Kucherov as the MVP, but he has an opportunity to win back-to-back scoring titles. To me, he's one of the best players in the National Hockey League, and today he also added his 80th assist of the season, joining for the third straight year, joining Wayne Gretzky, Bobby Orr, and Paul Coffey is the only players that has ever accomplished that. Kucherov having another fantastic season. I got 4 brownie points to the Calgary Flames, who score 3 in the third to come from behind to get a victory against San Jose. It looked like it was done for the Calgary Flames, but they've pulled 4 points to within 4 points to the Minnesota Wild. They have a game in hand, and they play the Minnesota Wild. The Calgary Flames are keeping it alive, their playoff chances. I hope they make it. I hope they pass the Minnesota Wild. I got 45. This one is easy to the Ducks goalie, Lucas Dostal. He was the best player on the ice tonight, by far. He is the only reason that the Edmonton Oilers did not walk away from this game with 2 points. Well, maybe there's another reason. I got -6 brownie points to the Edmonton Oilers power play unit. They were 0 for 6 in the night, including a 4-minute power play to start the third period. They had a 4-on-3 for an extended time. I know they didn't have 97 or 29 in the lineup on their power play, but the Ducks are the 30th penalty killing in the National Hockey League. And all those other teams that are beating up the Ducks on the penalty kill don't have 29 or 97 as well. So the Edmonton Oilers missed a number of glorious chances to win this hockey game, but their power play was not very good. And I just pulled one out, taking away the point I gave to Olivier Rodrigue. We already talked about him. I'm going to instead take 100 brownie points away from any dessert that is made with a vegetable. That's carrot cake. That is pumpkin pie. If you have a vegetable in your dessert, it is no longer a dessert. So there you go, -100 for every vegetable pretend dessert that anyone has ever created in the history of life. And those, my friends, are my brownie points.
You're here. Well said.
Thank you. Thank you, Jason.
That surprises me, that last one. You're so committed to working vegetables into your diet otherwise. I'm surprised you'd shun them from your desserts.
And maybe I'll just put some pumpkin pie on my Subway melt next time I go there. That'll be my vegetable for the day.
Yeah. Just Matt says that's a hot take from the guy whose last name is literally a dessert. Brownie. Yes. Do you like brownies, by the way, Brownie?
I love brownies, but they have to be with vanilla ice cream, though. I can't just have a brownie by itself. I got to throw a little vanilla ice cream. Just got to have the back and forth with, the chocolate and the vanilla.
Would you call those special brownies? Would you call those special brownies?
The special brownies don't need ice cream. They just need a good party. Jason, can we have special brownies on Saturday night?
Yeah, special brownies
on Sunday.
I'll have to check out my itinerary I'm making up.
Honestly, like if Shona comes up with it and you want to just text it over to me Saturday morning, I can actually print the cards up and I'll bring them.
Absolutely. We'll get it all. Don't worry. It's already, actually, check your inbox. It's probably there already.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Time now for Struddy's World. Roll the animation, Zuby.
When you make a mistake, heads should roll. It's not right. And I'm here. Someone has to put their foot down. Now that I say it out loud, it does sound a little crazy.
Gotta look good.
Yes, it is time for Struddy's World, brought to you by DLR Vinyl Products. Happy 50th birthday to my brother Rick. As Alberta's #1 vinyl product supplier, DLR offers top quality materials to build a fence or deck that will not rot, fade, or fall apart. If you need a skilled contractor to take care of the job, or if you prefer the do-it-yourself approach, DLR can help set you up with everything you need. Canadian owned and operated. They got locations in Calgary and Edmonton. Go vinyl at DLRvinylproducts.ca. Ready?
Yeah, I want to get serious for a minute here, guys, and kind of share a sad story that was told to me today. A friend of mine, they have a cabin, and they hadn't been out there for a while. They went out there about, just a week ago, and unfortunately been broken into. and there were a few things stolen, and obviously a little bit of not too bad of vandalizing, but just some things stolen. And you think that's the sad part of it. The worst part of it is they pretty much stole a gold brick right off the wall of it. That gold brick wasn't the traditional gold brick. It was an autographed picture of me to them, personalized. And
What?
and so these robbers literally went into this house, barely stole anything, but took my autographed, personalized picture to them and walked out of it. Talk about a wise business decision. I've been all over Facebook Marketplace. That bad boy is going to turn up and probably be on sale. So these guys, although not a little gold brick, it was pretty much worth a gold brick, and savvy robbers we have in some of these outlying communities.
So your friends have gone through a significantly difficult time, and you've managed to make it about you. That's a skill. That is a,
I didn't
that
call
is a
me to
skill
tell
of
me the story.
narcissism.
I didn't call me to tell me the story. They called me to tell the story. All I heard was, what? Someone stole my picture off the wall? That is what I heard. And so is it sad? Yeah, it is. I've got to replace that 8x10 and, a nice penmanship, write their names back on it on the wall.
I'm listening to your story, and I'm thinking like someone actually pulled a gold brick out of the wall, and then you throw that one out there. But yeah, I can understand this. To a lot of us, I mean, your autograph is worth its weight in gold. So yeah, I can see what you're thinking there.
Just Matt says the Struddy's ego is big enough to join me in talking in the third person now. Yeah, Matt. I probably would agree. So Struds, I'm sorry. The way you tell the story, you make it sound like these criminals broke into the house and only stole your picture off the wall. Like that's the way you're telling this story. Well, like they broke in, stole your picture, and made their getaway to go cash in their riches.
Some of the other items that were stolen. As far as I know, there was a fishing rod. That thing's not worth anything. And then a few bottles of the alcohol. And my picture, personalized. I mean, so I feel badly. Listen, my advice, as soon as they told me, I was like, do you not have a security system? Like that was my first thing that I said to them. Because why would you risk losing this incredible, family heirloom without a security system there?
I hope they're insured. Although I don't know what number you could put on a picture of you with autograph and sign.
Goodness sakes.
How do you place a value on that?
Yeah, it's going to be worth the deductible. Hey, they'll pay the $1,500 deductible to replace that thing.
So it's all, keep an eye out on the different place. If you see an personalized autograph, I don't want to give the names up, but it was a lady and a man, and it's autographed from Struddy. I think something pretty witty, obviously. Just let me know. We'll get it back.
And what's the location? Is it Edmonton area?
It'd be Edmonton area. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a local. I think that's why I think it was a local job.
Oh, you know what? This might have been one where they've got it out of the country already, Jason. Like seriously, this might be a thing. Like they're fencing this somewhere over in Asia or something, or over in Europe.
Where did you play over in Europe?
Quickly.
Where did you play?
He's big
Austria
over there.
Or
huge market.
Herzegovina or something?
Market. Well, guys,
where did you play?
You're making light of a serious situation. Yeah, Sweden, Switzerland, Hungary. I mean, with these tariffs now, it's worth a lot of money heading over there. So it's an inside job. I'm pretty sure it's an inside job.
I'm sure it's in a shipping container next to a Range Rover right now, headed to wherever with all that other good stuff.
No, they actually left the Range Rover just to make sure they got Struddy's picture in there.
Yeah, just push it out.
Chief Andy says this sounds like a planned heist, and Trizent says, "Yeah, pretty sure Jason stole his own picture." Well done,
Ocean's 43. They're calling it.
That was Struddy's World, brought to you by DLR Vinyl Products. All right, Brownie, we got another pod Wednesday, and then it's only 3 more sleeps after that till our party. And then we'll have a pod after Friday's game. And then it's just 1 more sleep after that until our big party. So it's going to be a great week with lots to look forward to.
I can hardly wait. I just, you guys text me. I'll wake up tonight just to see what the poll was. I want to see which dessert won.
Right.
So make sure you guys text me that before. And don't worry if it wakes up Holly. She doesn't care. She likes when I get texts late at night. So you can text anytime.
What time are we supposed to come over, Struds? What time is
I don't know.
It's like
it's 3 too early.
Well, if you can let me know by tomorrow, that's best for me. I need to know at least 4 or 5 days in advance the arrival time. And Brownie, if the Shaugers and Browns want to get together for a little pre-Strudwick House gathering to sort of get ourselves a little warmed up and ready to go, then we'd be open to something like that as well. So just
we can
from
do
Randy
that,
and I to just the Browns, little invite.
Show up at the Struds at about 10:30, 11 at night. That's perfect.
Yeah. We'll roll in fashionably late for Strud's party.
Well, we know we could do also. We can see if Shona wants to join us too.
Not a bad idea.
I can get organized, right? Well, I'm pretty busy out there searching for this picture, so I mean, I'll be there when I get there.
Well, if there's not going to be an itinerary, we'll get there when we get there, bud. Brownie, thanks for coming, buddy. We'll chat after Wednesday's game.
All right, night, guys.
All right, we are way long tonight, so let's let her buck here, Struddy. Let's get to our Canadian Club scoreboard and see what else was going on out there. The all-new CC Classic 18-year-old high proof comes in at an incredible 58%. Their highest proof Canadian Club Classic to date. Full-bodied whiskey with aromas of caramel, toffee, spicy vanilla, and rich oak with a butterscotch finish. What else we got, buddy?
Yeah, some games with big implications here. The Kings lose to the Kraken 2-1. That would have been a nice one for the Oilers to capitalize on and make up 2 points. The Blues snap their winning streak. The Jets take them down 3-1. Lightning pound the Rangers 5-1. And then Brownie mentioned the Sharks lose to the Flames 3-2. And the Flames are in this fight. I hope they make it. God, I hope they make it.
Yeah, that would be something, hey? That would be quite the turnaround and quite the season for a group that's been through a fair amount of change.
Be great. Be a great thing. Be good. It's good for the game of hockey. Now, the Wild are a pretty good team as well. But the Flames work so hard. I hope a team like that gets rewarded.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so as we go to break here, we've got an In the System tonight with our buddy Ryan Reed. That's going to be brought to you by Long Shots. 2 long shot stories from this week. So we used long shots for my brother's 50th birthday party the other night, and it was fantastic, right? You can watch sports on the big screen, you get the golf simulators going. There's a group coming and going, like 50, 60 plus people through the night, and they just come in, right? They had some drink specials on. It was fantastic. The music was good. So it's an awesome atmosphere. So if you're thinking of an event or something like that, definitely consider Long Shots out here in Sherwood Park. They were great hosts, and it was a really fun night. And then, Struds, yesterday, the Long Shots outdoor range is now open here in Sherwood Park. So they opened it for a bit. Then when the snow came, they shut her down. Then they opened it again, and the snow came, and they shut her down. Like, they have been committed to getting golfers out there. So I went, and they actually have the TrackMan bays there as well that you can hit off of. So I spent over an hour hitting actual golf balls yesterday. Out at the Long Shots outdoor range, buddy. I love my sim. There's nothing like actually getting back to hitting real balls.
Oh, that's so cool. That's really cool to hear.
Yeah. So they're rocking and rolling over at Long Shots. Ryan Reed in the system as we go to break.
The Bakersfield Condors have now lost all 3 games they have played in April, dropping Sunday's game against the Tucson Roadrunners 5-2. Tucson raced out to a 3-0 lead in the first 9 minutes of the game and didn't look back. Bakersfield has got the injury bug as of late, as Drake Kajula left Saturday's game injured and Seth Griffith left the game Sunday, not putting any weight on his leg. Both players are first and second on the team in goals and points. 2024 fifth rounder Cotton Claytonburg made his professional debut with the Condors wearing number 64. While captaining the Flint Firebirds this season, he posted 16 goals and 35 points. Damien Karfgana, who signed an entry-level deal for next season, also signed an amateur tryout contract that will allow him to play this season with the Condors. He is not ready for game action as of yet. Matthew Savoy posted an assist Sundays on pace for a 20-goal season with a total of 52 points in 66 games. Cam Dineen set a new Condors record for points by a D-man in a season with 42. He has 9 goals and 33 assists in 58 games played this campaign. The Condors are 5 points back of the Roadrunners for the final playoff spot in the division. Bakersfield has 2 games in hand. 2023 6th-round pick Nathaniel Day was signed to an amateur tryout with the Oilers' ECHL affiliate, the Fort Wayne Comets, and posted a shutout in his first professional game, saving 24 shots. He was named MVP of the Flint Firebirds this season. Sam O'Reilly was voted the best defensive forward in the OHL in the annual coaches poll. O'Reilly posted points in all 4 games of London's first-round sweep of Owen Sound, including 3 multi-point efforts and 1 4-point game. 2024 sixth-round pick Dallin Wakely has been playing out of his mind with the Barrie Colts as of late. He posted 12 points in 5 games during their round 1 victory over the Niagara Ice Dogs. He was named the first star in Game 4 after posting 1 goal and 3 assists. Bo Akey has been quieter than Wakely, but still had 2 points during that same series. I'm Ryan Reed, and that's what's happening in the system.
So at Timberhouse, our guiding philosophy is naturally inspired living. We believe that through design, we can solve problems and enhance people's lives. We follow biophilic design principles in all of our builds to incorporate natural materials, natural light, to enhance all the spaces in a home. When you have your space perfectly reflect who you are and what you value, and it's made well, we think that that just leads to better living.
For over 60 years, Belvedere Golf and Country Club has delivered a high-quality membership experience to Edmonton and area. And now it's even better. Drainage and irrigation improvements in 2024 have taken course conditions to a new level. This commitment to long-term sustainability means exceptional playing conditions all season long. Belvedere's tee sheet availability is unmatched, so join now and experience golf the way it was meant to be played, on your schedule. Visit belvederegcc.com today.
At HSE Core, we are dedicated to providing unparalleled safety compliance services to small and medium-sized businesses through our monthly health and safety program management, including managing contractor screening registries and core auditing services. Let HSE Core Services help you maintain a safe workplace for you and your valued employees. Visit us at hsecore.com.
If you're considering a vinyl fence, don't be fooled by cheap marketplace imitations. Get top quality vinyl fence from a trusted company with 20 years in the industry. With locations in Calgary and Edmonton, check out dlrvinylproducts.ca. Rolling up on 1 a.m. and the live stream is still rocking hard on YouTube. Amazing. We have the best live listeners. Time now to take a couple laps, brought to you by Acon. If you're a skilled tradesperson or construction pro looking for work in Western Canada, they want to hear from you. Take your resume and fire it off to trades@acon.com. That is trades@acon.com. Looking for skilled tradespeople and construction professionals to join the Acon team and start building what matters today. Let's take a few laps here. Struds, where do you want to start, my friend?
Well, let's start with Ovechkin, the great story of him breaking Wayne Gretzky's record. A couple things for me. I remember when I first played against him and Sidney Crosby both came in the first year because of the lockout. And I remember the first time I heard about him, my agent, just a couple summers previously, I said, who are the young guys coming up? He's like, this guy, Ovechkin from Russia. He said, he'll be better than Joe McGinley. And obviously I'm pretty biased. And I'm like, better than Joe McGinley? He's like, yeah, he's a great leader. He's that good. I'm like, are you kidding me? He's like, Struddy, I'm telling you. And sure enough, here we are 25 years later, whatever it is. He's sitting atop the goals record. And then when I got to play against the first few times, I couldn't believe how powerful he was. He was everywhere on the ice. He would score on you or run you. And was not afraid to go get pucks. He was just such a, he was everywhere. It felt like he was everywhere out there. So to continue that on for this long, the punishment he's given out and taken with that big body, and for him to keep scoring. What I love about it is the goal he scored is you've seen him score that a ton of times, just grabbing and ripping it at the net as hard as he can. So great moment for him and quite frankly for the league.
It was interesting, Struds, and it was confirmed the other night by Spencer Carberry that when the Caps were up a goal and the net was empty, that Ovechkin basically said, I don't want to go out there. So it would have been, it would have been pretty baller to break the record with a hat trick goal, even if it was an empty netter. But he didn't want to do it. He wanted to wait. Yeah. And then because he made that decision, he got to have that moment the other night where he shot the puck in, nice shot, past the goalie, and the whole belly slide there. So I feel like it kind of adds to the legend a little bit that he waved off the potential of an empty netter and you know, he knew he was going to get it, but I love that little piece of the story.
Yeah, and I think that if he had, I wouldn't have mattered. I'm like, he's already scored 900 goals or whatever.
I agree.
Like, who cares? Yeah. Like, it's so many. But now what I've been, a lot of chat with people about is how many is he going to get and how long does he want to play? He's got a deal for next year. I truly feel that he'll have next year, then he's done. I think he's going to walk. I truly feel he's going to go back to Russia. The guy's 40 years old. He's played a long time. There's a lot of abuse on that body. Maybe he wants to raise his family back home. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but I think he wants to play in Russia. I really, truly feel he wants to.
Let's see what happens with the Caps here. I can't help but wonder if maybe he isn't back there next year. I mean, he's got this record. We'll see how the Caps do. Right? Well, I know, but I think if he wants to shut it down and go play in Russia, he'll probably be able to do that, wouldn't you think? He'd probably pretty much, call his own number and do what he wants to do. I mean, the number he would get in Russia would be ridiculous too, right? So I feel like it's kind of up to him. I just wonder now that he's got it, if that's his plan, maybe it doesn't happen sooner rather than later. So, we'll see what happens. But Ovechkin in the playoffs now. They got a lot of work to do here. And he's been playing some bizarre hockey for a little while here. Like, I've been watching some of these Washington games, and it's like, it's not – I mean, he just skates up and down the wing and shoots the puck every time he touches it. Like, it's not the formula to go win hockey in the playoffs. And they probably need to dial back in on that a little bit here.
Yeah, and that Poitras has been hurt too. He's a really good player. Or not Poitras, sorry. What's the guy's name? I've got the wrong player.
Which one do you mean?
Protas.
Yeah,
I think he's been a Protas. Yeah, he's a hell of a player.
Yeah. Okay, where are we going next?
Just a quick one. The Winnipeg Jets, Nick Ehlers missed the second straight game tonight. Wasn't able to play. So important part of their team obviously brings speed on that second line. So who knows where that's going to go, but it's worth noting that he was a game time decision, didn't play tonight.
Blues relieved that streak is over?
I think so. Yeah, you don't want to carry that into playoffs. They're playing well. Now, sometimes you roll that hot. There's only one way to go. So the Oilers again on Wednesday night. Maybe they get a help with one guy back. I don't know. But I think that it's interesting that, they were so hot and went so well. Can they keep that pace up and into the playoffs?
Yeah. You want no part of that winning streak heading into the postseason. No part of that at all. That's got first round sweep written all over it.
Yeah.
Carrying a winning streak like that. Okay, that was Taking a Lap, brought to you by our friends over at Acon. Let's solve the dessert mystery, Zuby, as you hop back in for our DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center YouTube poll. So you can wrap it up by telling us the results and assigning the desserts to each of us.
I'm so excited. I don't know if I've been this excited about poll results. It's not a true win for me, but I think it's a bigger win than I expected.
Did not win.
It didn't win.
Did not win.
It didn't win, but I still think this is a win for the way Carrot Cake was trashed on the chat today. Okay. So here are the results of these choices. Which is the best dessert? Apple pie with ice cream, first place, 51%. Boom. Carrot Cake, second place. 18% of the vote. Sex in a Pan, third place, 16%. And Brownie's Nanaimo bars come in dead last, 13%. So Brownie had Nanaimo bars. I was Carrot Cake. Struddy had Sex in a Pan, and Shaugger was apple pie with ice cream. So it was a dominant win for your dessert, but I feel completely vindicated for the heat I took. For Brownie's rant about vegetables not belonging in desserts. As my wife would say, I bet if Brownie ate it and you didn't tell, that's spoken like a person who's never eaten a good carrot cake. You wouldn't even think there was carrots in it if you said, here, try this, it's cake. You'd say, this is amazing.
Struds, any chance you can send a recipe over? Because I don't think Randine nor I have a clue what's in Sex in a Pan. Like, what is this dessert you have now requested for your party on Saturday?
Well, I don't know. I'll eat anything. I mean, I'm pretty easy. I think it's like there's some wafers on the bottom, and then kind of chocolate and vanilla kind of It's and then it's got some kind of score on top. It's really good. My mom makes it. They also call it Robert Redford, but it's not quite as sexy a name, obviously.
Why? Why do they call it Robert Redford?
I don't know why they call it anything, right? I don't know. It's so good. It's so good, though.
Well, Robert Redford was sexy in his own way, wasn't he? Maybe that's probably the connection there.
Is that what is it? Did maybe just your mom calls it that? Did you have a thing for Robert Redford? You think? Is that your mom's hall pass? Like, what's the Robert Redford?
Both of us. For both of us, it is. I think. But no, it is such a good dessert. How can you? Well, you can't go wrong with dessert. How can you go wrong? Other than pumpkin pie, you can't go wrong.
When I looked it up, it came up as that it's like a custard, a layered slice. They called it a slice. I think the other thing too is that I think there's a bunch of different ways to make it, and maybe that's kind of the generic term for this kind of like
regional
layered custard. Yeah, upstate New York.
All right, I will let Randine know. Sex in a pan it is for Saturday night. She's going to think it's a different kind of party. I'll have to clarify what all of that means. So you got some coming at you Saturday. That's assuming the Shaughers and Browns don't eat it all in their pre-party, which is going to be off the hook and well planned. The pre-party is going to be a banger. Okay, time for Ask Us Anything, brought to you by BJ Electric Supplies. Founded in 1976, they're a full-line distributor providing quality wholesale electrical products for use in industrial, commercial, and residential settings. Proudly owned and operated in Edmonton. Visit bjelectric.ca. We are so long, Zuby, so I'm going to be picky tonight. Only the best of the best, and we're going to wrap this thing up.
Okay. I think there's lots of good questions here tonight, but you can shut them down if you want to say nope. Next. Here's one from Vane Moretsky. He asked this a bunch of times, so I'm going to make sure we get this in. Is there anything that Brown, Janmark, and Kapanen bring that Philp, Savoy, and Hamblin can't bring? Don't say the PK because the PK has been bad. Struddy.
Experience, right? So that does matter. You know, they have a lot of games and their experience, and that's what coaches value as they head into the playoffs.
Yeah. Experience. I mean, outside of Kapanen, those guys were key factors in a playoff series, a Stanley Cup final that went to 7 games, right? Janmark and Brown were both. And I think people understandably get pretty hung up on the regular season and what they did or didn't do during the regular season. There's a lot of Oilers that have had kind of subpar regular seasons here. So, yeah, I would definitely be leaning on their experience heading into the playoffs. And by the way, why change it now? Like, why? I mean, it's not like there's cap, you know, you're not saving money. You're not like those guys have the experience. They've got you there before. Just roll with them would be my thought there.
All right. Adam Bodnerchuk says, I've been pretty disappointed in Nuge and Hyman in the last stretch, missing McDavid and Draisaitl. Hyman, no points in 5 games. Nuge 1-7. These are the guys who need to step up in times like this, but this has not been the case this far. Shaugger?
Fair. I mean, when the big guys are away, other guys got to fill in the cracks. You know, that power play, it was good for a few games there. But yeah, Nugent Hopkins for sure. Hyman for sure. I mean, I thought Hyman worked hard tonight. I think Nuge was on it too, but you need results. You need, when you're the secondary layer, and you get increased opportunity for sure. I think those are fair criticisms, Struds.
Yeah, I think Nuge had 7 shots today. I think I remember looking that up.
Yeah.
So that's a ton. But you're right. You look around the room now. Everyone's looking at you, right? They're not looking at 97-20. They're looking at 93-18. You know, some of these other guys. So that's 53. How it works. Yeah, 53. Yeah, 33.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sunch17 says, out of all the forwards, Frederick and Kane should be the least worried about finding their game, especially as at a bare minimum, they model their games out of hits and checking. I think you've talked about this before, guys. And Struddy, you said about how guys who, if scoring's the only thing you have and you're not scoring, it's tough. But if you're a guy who can hit and mix it up and you can find your game that way. So do you agree with that statement from Sunch17?
Yeah, I mean, it's still the speed of the game and all that, but if you can be physical and then find your game off of that, it's actually your scoring touch or your passing or whatever. It does help because it feels like you're accomplishing something. Whereas if you're a guy that just relies on, let's say, passing or scoring and you haven't played in a long time, can sometimes be hard to find that timing. So yeah, it'll be easier. But for Frederick, it makes it hard because he hasn't played with the team, right? I think that chemistry does make a difference. I truly feel that way for forwards.
Still got to be able to handle the puck. And if you're turning pucks over on the wall in your own end because your hands aren't up to speed, if the play is dying on your stick all the time because you can't get it to your center iceman, no chance you're playing in the top six. So, yeah, I do have concern about these guys in their hands. Skating fast and hitting hard is the bare minimum to be expected. But when it gets tough, guys who can't make plays can't play in the playoffs. So, yeah, I mean, we saw Warren Fogle one year. I mean, he skates hard and he was finishing checks those playoffs. Couldn't handle a puck. Couldn't skate 15 feet with the puck and make a play. And he was not usable for a stretch there. So, yeah, I'm worried about their hands not having played enough.
All right. Neil Garrity with kind of an interesting thought here. He said he was responding to someone else, but he said, I don't think the depth scoring is as important at the Oilers. Obviously, they'd take more, but when 29 and 97 are back and scoring at the rate they can, all the bottom six have to do is shut it down. Do you think this team, with what they've seen in this stretch, is going to kind of lean into that idea, Shaugger, headed to the playoffs?
Yeah, Struddy, you want to take that one first?
Yeah, I think that's a dangerous game if you're not expecting anyone to score other than the top guys. I think that what it does is that, you can't let them off the hook. And not that they ever think that way, but I think everyone's got to find a way. How often in the playoffs do you hear after a game, the fourth line won that game for whoever, the Rangers or whatever. So I think they still have to find a way to score, because that also brings energy, and those guys, they feel good about themselves when they're scoring. So I would disagree with that. I think it's great if they can be all we want at the top guys, but you need others scoring and contributing, especially in unlikely moments.
Sorry, and the reason I was distracted there, I was just double checking the stats that we got there on Nugent Hopkins, because I remember he did light it up a little bit after McDavid
immediately
went down.
after. Yeah, you're right.
There. That was immediately after, though. We had the Hattie, then he had 9 points, and I think a 4-game stretch, he had 9 points, but then he's won. Yeah, looks like one in his last 6. So, yeah. Sorry. Anyways, that's where my brain was for a second there. Just wanted to make sure we were being fair to him and running the right stats. Couple more, Zuby.
Yeah, that was worth noting for sure. Starting over at 61, pointing out Flames 6 back of the Oilers with 5 games left. Is that accurate? When I mean, it seemed like the top 3 in the Pacific was done and dusted, but when does that become a concern?
Mm-hmm. I got it at 6 points right now.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Is that what he said? 6?
6 back with 5 games left.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a big hill to climb. I think the Oilers, I believe, would have the regulation wins 33. Yeah, Edmonton. Yeah. So I feel like they're going to have to make up 6 points and then win the tiebreak potentially. Like I'm not that concerned. Struds, you?
No, I'm not.
I feel like that race is cooked.
Yeah.
Okay, one other one here. Sunch, going back to Sunch 17, he said Oilers had 49 shots. 6 of them were high danger chances. I saw him adjust that later to say 5. I'm not sure what it was officially. He says that's not a personnel problem, it's a coaching problem. But let's not necessarily put it on the coach. But is the bigger picture still that this is too much of a perimeter team, or is it too much perimeter stuff? Struddy,
yeah, I mean, it's funny. We're going to end where I started our conversation here, right? By taking the pucks to the net, and I truly feel that you need to have the idea that I'm driving the net with the puck, and that's playoff hockey, and that is something that they need to get into. And the point shots, it feels like they defer to it. We're just going to pass up to the point and shoot it from the point all the time, and it just doesn't work consistently enough. It's very random. And so I would suggest the forwards have to attack out of the corner. I've been saying this for quite a while now, and it hasn't changed.
Scoring chances off the cycle, 9-4 for the Oilers tonight. High danger scoring chances, that's at even strength. 13-12 in favor of Anaheim. Okay, that was Ask Us Anything, brought to you by our friends at BJ Electric Supplies. All right, let's wrap up the show with our Gallery Dental play of the day. Offering a full range of services designed to keep your smile healthy, their experienced team provides personalized care with the latest technology, making sure you get the best treatment possible. Contact GalleryDentalYEG.com. Struds, what are we going with tonight, buddy?
Yeah, kind of a neat idea from Bud Light. Well, I think it was Budweiser. They sent all the goalies that weren't scored on by Ovi, but who had shots, a special case with some beer. So Eddie Lack got his post here. Eddie Lack kind of chimes in and says, this is BS. If I knew there was beers involved, I would have tried harder. And I love it. Like Eddie Lack's a really funny former goalie in the NHL. Played in quite a while. But there you see Curtis Joseph getting the beers about for not letting Ovi score him with all the shots he had on him. So pretty cool.
Ovi has scorched a lot of attendees over the years, man. A lot of guys that help make that list possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's very cool, though. That's what they do, and someone thought of that. I think that's pretty awesome.
All right.
And, of course,
boys.
Bakersfield Condor, Colin D'Elia on that list.
Also.
With two saves. There's about 20
Good
goalies.
footnote.
It was interesting to go through it and see some of the names on there. Some that I had never heard of. But a few like Cujo and Eddie Lack. And you also forget the generation that Ovi has spanned here too. 19 seasons. It's crazy.
So cool.
All right. Good job tonight, guys. She was a late one. Much appreciated. Yeah. Great work. No long goodbye tonight. We're just going to say thanks for joining us. And we'll talk to you Wednesday. Actually, the next pod is going to be Wednesday during the day. We got Struddy's World from 12 to 1 o'clock live on our YouTube and Twitter channels. So tune into that. And then we'll have a post-game pod Wednesday after the Oilers and the Blues. Talk to you then, guys. Have a great night, everybody. See ya.
Bye-bye.